It's harder to keep up with updates than I thought it would be, so this one's going to be kind of long. But as you can see here, we've taken apart the deck and all the siding is gone, and in the next couple of weeks the roof will be taken off here as well. We have here some treated posts and glue lambs, and we have our trusses over there. We're going to be putting posts up where these concrete pads are, and our roof is going to then extend all the way out. We're going to replace a lot of the bad additions with the roofs and how they had it set up. But we'll go inside and show you what things look like now. This is just about ready for having the roof done. We've got all the exterior walls framed, and we've framed them for double 2x4 studs. And let's see here, we've got material kind of sitting around that we're going to be using. Here's some fascia. We built this little mobile lumber rack the other day to be able to move our little pieces. We're trying to reuse as much as we can. Over here is our longer pieces that don't fit on that, and we use these. This room over here has been opened up, and I'm going to be working on framing this room today. This will be my mother-in-law's addition, and then where we are now, this is kind of where the kids' bedrooms, the master bedroom, and then the kitchen's over here. And then walking in here, see, I mentioned in the last video we were going to bring the floor up in that part, and we did. And now it's solid across, and put in a really big header here. So now we've opened up the room, there's no wall here. And then I currently have the roof torn off of this part of the house because it was lowered and we needed to build the walls up. So if you look over here, you can see where the wall height used to end. It's here, and we added on top of it, and then we added the interior wall to the correct height to match it. And so once we get the new trusses on, that'll swing all the way across, and this won't need to be here anymore. And then in here, it's been opened up quite a bit. You can see where the windows are going to be. And this will be our den, kids' study room kind of thing. We'll have like a TV up there and stuff like that. There was a lot of work done to get the floors ready. In this section here, I had to dig out about 10 cubic yards of dirt to get the correct amount of space that should be in there so that we could do any kind of work in there like vapor barrier or sealing up, things like that. So that took a while. There used to be a double door here, and so I was able to actually drive my riding lawnmower in here with the dumping trailer and back it up here, and then I could shovel all the dirt into the trailer and drive it out to a dirt pile. And so that was thankfully helpful. We live really close to a coal mine, and they do they use explosives, and so we kind of feels like little earthquakes about every day. And so there's a little bit more settling here than normal. And so I've gone through and kind of changed out all of the floor supports from posts to adjustable posts. So now I can go back every year and kind of make adjustments to make sure that we're not sinking anywhere. But this is going to be our front door, and we'll come out here and show you some more stuff. It's pretty ugly looking right now, but the windows and the siding are getting picked up today, and within the next couple of weeks the roof will be replaced, and so it'll start looking like a new house here pretty quick. A lot of the time-consuming projects that were worked on recently have kind of been coming to a completion, and our soybean field over here is going to be harvested in the next couple of weeks, so that's going to be exciting to see the equipment come out and do that. And then we we got a couple of things over here to show you that we worked on. It might seem like, oh, Tyler, you've been working on this house all year. It doesn't look like you did anything. Like, well, there were other things I was working on too. So we have our camper set up, and that was a long process. Not everybody out here that says that they can do a certain job actually can. So there were some things that needed to be addressed after some attempts were made. And so anyway, so we got this gravel pad here with our camper on it. I got electricity and everything hooked up over here. We did buy a little shed over here. Has a covered porch. And once this was delivered, then I insulated it and wired it. And so this is kind of the place where my mother-in-law is staying while we're in the camper. And so we'll give you a little sneak peek here. Mother-in-law is out of town right now, so the kids are in here playing, and it might be a mess.
Look at this.
All you guys are working on Code Monkey. Kids are learning how to code on the internet. They're playing a game. It's called Code Monkey.
It's a whole family.
Yeah? You guys are playing it?
I hate you.
So you can see the electrical panel on the far wall. We've got a duct heat pump put in, and we got wiring for all the appliances in here. We got a TV and Wi-Fi and all that. And it's quite comfortable. If we had to, I'd just be fine living in one of these. But yeah, this is the 7/16 OSB with the 1-inch foam on the back that was recycled from completed projects at APA. So one of the other things we have set up with the cabin here is we put the gutters on, and that goes down some downspouts and into a pipe that I put into the ground that goes out to the ditch. And at this end of that pipe, I put in a drain here, and then I have this outdoor sink which has been secured, and that's piped down right into it. So then that goes right out to the ditch as well. It was here and just dumping water onto the ground, and the kids were playing with it a lot more than needed to be used. And so there's a lot of grass that didn't want to grow because it was so wet. But we got that solved, and we're working this way. We got our carport over there that we keep some things underneath, and the garage was a big project. As some of the stuff on the house was getting done earlier this year, I couldn't really be working in there, and so as I was working on the cabin and even before then, I decided to work on the garage. I figured I'm going to be needing a lot of tools and things, and so getting this organized and getting all my stuff up here that I would need to work on the house was important, so I worked on that. So it's locked. We have to keep it locked because we have small children and we let them play outside, and if they get into the garage, they'll get into all the good stuff that they're not supposed to get into. So this building is on the interior completely, that has more of that OSB with the foam backing. I had just enough for this building and the cabin, but because the concrete floor in here is not even whatsoever, they did a terrible job. I had to build little platforms for where I wanted to put my file cabinets and my toolboxes, and we put in another ductless heat pump, one in here. We have our food storage in here. Typically that's inside the house, but because the house is not done, I didn't want to keep it in the storage unit where it's going to be like super hot in the summer, because that'll make your food spoil. So we've got our food storage stored in here, keep the temperature cool. We've got lots and lots of shelving. Thankfully we have high ceilings, and so we have lots of room to put everything and walk around. I've even got a whiteboard in here that I can put my hopes and dreams on and find out that they're dashed because project takes way longer than I wanted them to. But you come down here and you got another aisle. It's kind of like a little warehouse in here. We keep all of our stuff and makes things comfortable as we're living in a camper. But that's kind of where we're at. Over here, you'll see we have, this is the fridge. So we got the fridge. We have all the appliances we need for the house. It's just, this one's being used, so we brought it to the garage, but the other one's like the washer, dryer, dishwasher, stuff like that, set the storage unit. But that's kind of what we're doing, and then You can look up here, we have a little string across, and sometimes we'll have a couple of tables in here, we'll have it set up, and we'll invite people over, and we'll do painting. This is from the kids painting recently. We do a lot of stuff like that and have fun while we're out here. But that's kind of what I've been working on. So I've got, oh yeah, here's the pictures of what the garage looked like before. So you can see there was like garbage left everywhere and broken doors and all kinds of nastiness. So we got this room cleaned up, fixed up, put the electricity into it, heating and cooling. And
You got your boot shelf?
yes, I keep all my boots here, most of them anyway. And
He was very proud
there's
of
lots
that.
of little things that I've done, like I've got a dedicated circuit with my battery chargers so I can have all of them charging at the same time, stuff like that. So this was a big project, getting the cabin set up for Linda and the camper and dealing with the guys. I'll be nice. That came out, worked on that, and didn't do a good job. I had to fix that. So it's taken some time, and now the house is getting to the point where over the next couple of weeks it's going to be drastically different, and hopefully we can do more updates like I wanted to do.
When we have visitors come over, people usually say how organized this room is.
Yeah, I've had some compliments on how organized it is. We have we've met a family that lives out here. They bought a house and are fixing up their house. They have 6 kids, and most of them are teenagers, and so they have a lot of hands for helping, and I don't have a lot of hands for helping. My helpers are, like this tall and not very strong or follow instructions very well. So they don't have a lot of experience fixing houses, and I've done several houses, and so we've kind of made an agreement where I go and help them with stuff that they don't really have experience with, and then they come over and help me with labor that I don't have enough hands for, and it kind of worked out really well. And it's starting to cool down. This last week it hasn't been in the 80s. It rained for a few days, and so my grass was really tall because it's been wet and I haven't mowed it, but that's where we're at.